You're listening to the Culips English Podcast. To download the study guide for this episode, which includes the transcript, detailed vocabulary explanations, real-world examples, and a quiz, visit our website, culips.com. CULIPS.com. Hey everybody, my name is Andrew.
And I'm Suzanne.
And you're listening to Culips. Hello, Suzanne.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. But you know what? I switched from coffee to tea again. And as we know, tea is not coffee. So it's not doing the job I want it to. Still a little sleepy.
Well, Suzanne, I'm actually drinking tea as well. I have a pot of Earl Grey in front of me.
Nice.
I was shopping last week. This is kind of a funny story, so I'll share it with you. I was shopping last week and I wanted to buy some tea. And I noticed some Earl Grey tea bags that were on sale for 80% off. 80% off.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the tea for me. I'm going to buy it. So I bought it. I got it home and I didn't know why it was so cheap. Why was the store selling this tea so cheap? Until I tried to open the tea bags and I realized why the tea is so cheap. And that is because they made the satchel that holds the tea bag, you know, like the envelope.
Yes.
It's too small. So every time that you try to open the envelope to get the tea bag out, you rip the tea bag at the same time.
And then it's like, what's the point of the tea bag if it's ripped?
It's ripped. I don't have a tea ball for loose leaf tea. Unfortunately, I don't own one right now. So yeah, I'm drinking tea at the moment, but if you hear me spitting little pieces of tea out of my mouth while we're recording, that's because of this bad tea bag envelope design.
Ugh. Well, I hope the tea tastes good at least.
The taste is good. Anyway, Suzanne, we're not going to talk about tea today. We're going to talk about something totally different, and that is canceling dinner plans, okay? And especially how to cancel dinner plans. So today we're doing a Real Talk episode, and Real Talk is our series where we teach all of our listeners the natural English expressions that you will need for real world situations. And this is a very important real world situation, canceling a dinner plan.
Absolutely. Very useful.
So just before we get into it, I would like to remind everyone listening out there that the best way to study with this episode is with the study guide. And it includes lots of awesome things like a transcript, detailed vocabulary explanations, real life examples, comprehension quiz, and even some more bonus study materials. So you can download that by visiting our website, culips.com. Okay, CULIPS.com. Visit the website and get the study guide. Suzanne, what is the plan for today?
Well, first, we're going to listen to an example conversation. And in this example, a woman named Christie cancels dinner plans with her friend Paul.
Okay, very good. And then after we listen to it, what will we do?
So we're going to take a close look at the expressions that were used in the conversation and the vocabulary that you can use when you need to cancel plans with a friend or a coworker.
Awesome. Well, I am an expert in canceling plans, so I think I'll have lots to talk about.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think we get better as we get older at canceling plans.
Indeed. Okay, Suzanne, let's take a listen to that conversation example right now.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, hey, Christie, what's up?
I'm so glad to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you. Listen, I'm super sorry, but something's come up, and I won't be able to meet up with you on Saturday for dinner after all.
Oh, really? That's too bad. Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything is fine. Actually, I was a total space cadet and double booked myself. I forgot that I have a staff party to go to on Saturday.
Really? Okay. Well, don't worry about it.
But let's get together soon another time.
Yeah, okay, sure, anytime. Just let me know when you're free.
Cool. Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, we just listened to a conversation where a woman named Christie runs into her friend Paul at a coffee shop, and she cancels dinner plans that they had for Saturday night. Christie said that she forgot that she had a previous engagement, and so because of this, she was forced to cancel her plan with Paul, but they did agree to meet up again later for dinner at some point in the future when Christie has some free time. All right, Suzanne, so let's go through that conversation one more time, and this time let's take a look at some of the key expressions that Christie and Paul used to deal with the situation of canceling plans.
Okay, so the first key expression is when Christie says, "Listen, I'm super sorry, but something's come up, and I won't be able to meet up with you on Saturday for dinner after all." So she is apologizing and explaining that something else is more important. Something else has come up, right? There's that phrasal verb. It's come up. And she needs to give that other thing more attention. So let's listen to that section again. "Listen, I'm super sorry, but something's come up, and I won't be able to meet up with you on Saturday for dinner after all." "Listen, I'm super sorry, but something's come up, and I won't be able to meet up with you on Saturday for dinner after all."
Yeah, so Suzanne, I think the key part here is, like you mentioned, something's come up, right? Something's come up. This is the way that Christie cancels the plan. She says, "I'm super sorry, but something's come up." And what does this mean if something comes up? Like you mentioned, it's a phrasal verb, and it's very, very frequently used. We use this all the time when canceling a plan. "Oh, something's come up, I'm sorry."
Yeah. So it usually means that something has come to your attention, or there's kind of a kink in the plan, which means like, you might have overlooked something in your schedule, or maybe you had a last minute change that really needs your attention.
When we say something's come up, it just means another event is on your radar now that is more important than your original plan. Maybe somebody is sick and you have to visit them in the hospital, or maybe your boss said, "Oh, you have to go on a business trip and you'll be out of town." Something more important has taken precedent over your original plan. This is when we use this expression, "something's come up."
Yeah, and I just want to point out that apostrophe S, right? Something's come up, because I think that's an important grammar feature, that it's short for something has come up, right?
Yes.
So instead of saying something has come up, you just make that a contraction, and it's something's come up. It's not a possessive, in other words.
Exactly. Yeah, good point. This is a nice expression for gently canceling a plan because it's very vague. You don't have to give details. Oh, I'm sorry, something's come up. I can't meet you.
Yeah. I think when it's an acquaintance or maybe a coworker or a colleague, saying something's come up works well. I think if you have plans with a very close friend, someone who's extremely close to you personally, something's come up might be a little too vague.
Good points. I think with your really close friends, you can be completely honest and open with them, right?
Yes.
And that's why they're your good friends. So definitely I would use this expression for somebody I'm not as close to, maybe somebody I have a professional relationship with, or an acquaintance, somebody that is not really a super, super close friend.
Yeah.
Good. So let's move on to our second key expression for today. We'll listen to that part of the conversation right now.
Actually, I was a total space cadet and double booked myself. Actually, I was a total space cadet and double booked myself.
Okay, so we just heard Christie say that she was a total space cadet and double booked herself. Okay, so two interesting expressions in one sentence here. The first one, I was a total space cadet. A cadet is like a junior soldier almost, right? Maybe a teenager that is affiliated with the army somehow, a cadet.
Yeah, your entry level soldier. So someone who's very new, right?
Yeah, in Canada, we have a high school program called the Cadets, and it's like wilderness training, survival training, but it's run by the Canadian military. And so that's called the Cadets. So that's exactly what it is. It's like a very low level soldier. And when we say total space cadet, what does it mean if someone is a total space cadet?
It's like your head is in the clouds. It's like you just have nothing between your ears. You totally spaced out. You forgot everything. You suddenly, it's like you're doing everything for the first time because you have no clue about any previous plans or experiences. And and prone to making mistakes.
Mm-hmm. So a total space cadet, you can imagine like a junior level astronaut out in space, just not paying attention to something and just floating away, right? You're very forgetful. You can't concentrate. And so Christie says, I was a total space cadet. Why? Because she double booked herself. And when you double book yourself, this means you make two plans at the same time, which is a problem because they conflict with one another, those two plans.
Yes, exactly. You have two things in your book. Planner? I don't know.
Planner, calendar.
Yes.
Something like this. Yeah, your application on your phone. Right. So what I like about this part of the conversation is Christie is very humble. She sort of makes an excuse, right? She lightens the mood by taking the blame for canceling the plans, right? It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was a space cadet. I made a mistake. And I think this is a good way to go about canceling plans. Do you do things like this when you cancel plans, Suzanne, ever?
Absolutely, because I definitely have a tendency to double book myself or be a total space cadet. I have a book, a planner that I write everything down in, and it helps my brain to relax. So if it's not in my book, I will completely forget it. So yes, it's good to take responsibility for your mistakes. And I think it also makes the other person feel better as well.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll move on to the final key expression, the final key part of today's episode. And let's take a listen to it right now.
Yeah. But let's get together soon another time. But let's get together soon another time.
Okay, so in this part of the conversation, we just heard Christie make a vague rescheduling offer with Paul. Okay,
Yes.
She says, let's get together sometime soon. So I'm curious, Suzanne, when you cancel a plan with somebody, do you usually make a sentence? Do you usually say something like this and just say, we'll get together another time? Or are you more specific and try to reschedule right away? What's your canceling style?
I think it depends on the event or the people that I'm scheduling with. So, for example, if we are, maybe my boyfriend and I were going out for a movie and dinner with another couple, but they canceled or someone canceled, maybe we would just make a vague rescheduling. Maybe in the next couple weeks we can hang out. But if it's more of an appointment, maybe a coffee or a lunch with someone to discuss plans or business or maybe some research, we might make an actual rescheduled event in the calendar. What about you?
I think I'm the same way. I can go either way depending on the situation.
Yeah.
I think it really depends on the situation, right? If you like the person, we don't really know. Maybe Christie just actually doesn't like Paul too much and doesn't want to hang out with him. I think if she really, really liked Paul, maybe she'd be like, how about next Tuesday? Maybe she'd be very specific, right?
Right.
But that's a good point. If you do want to make a specific rescheduling plan, I think that question is very appropriate, right? I'm sorry, I have to cancel the plan for Saturday. I double booked myself. But how about rescheduling for next week? Yeah. How about rescheduling for next Monday? How about rescheduling for 2 weeks from now? A question like this is really appropriate in this situation.
Yes. And I think some people really prefer to have a clear date to change it to. So it can be helpful.
Exactly, especially if you are very, very busy, like many people are these days.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps it up for this episode.
All right.
So I want to thank everybody for listening. Our website is culips.com, culips.com. The study guide for this episode is on the website right now, so head on over to give it a download.
Yeah, and don't forget, we are also on Facebook at facebook.com/culipspodcast. And please get in touch with us by emailing us at contact@culips.com.
We will be back soon with another episode, and we will talk to you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Have you signed up for the Culips newsletter? You can receive updates on all the latest episodes, tips about learning English, and special Culips offers delivered directly to your inbox for free. To join, just visit culips.com and enter your email address at the bottom of the page.